the fear!
Refugees are welcome here!
Stop the hate! Stop the fear!
Refugees are welcome here!
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 The idea is that every year there will be a flag day and people will celebrate the flag, but the difference will be that every year communities who are joining UK will send their textile designs and it will be incorporated in this ever-changing flag to represent the ever-changing nation. Why did you choose the new Union flag to represent the UK?
This is more representative of what's going on today.
Currently, UK is a very multicultural society, which is completely thriving with full of energy and good vibes.
Because of the emblem of this flag, that we have so many different cultures coming to our country.
Yeah, I've always loved the Union Jack. I think it's a beautiful flag.
This is a safe emblem, and this is what I feel represents the UK.
From what I observed through my various activities, I do believe that art projects as such and others that I conducted are much more open-ended and unable much more freely to engage various communities and people who might not be part of the political sphere. They might not read newspapers, they won't go to demonstrations. So both the setting of the project and the essence of it are much more inviting and enable such conversation to take place.
This is England. This is North America.
I chose Greece. It's a really nice country and I would love to learn the language.
I've only just noticed how much flags are involved in my life.
The new Union flag is replacing parts of the Union Jack with fabrics of communities around the world. So it's imagining how a flag becomes something much more open, participatory and diverse. This is the Jordanian one. And it expanded to any communities that live in the UK. It never stay as it is because it's evolving.
I'm from Kurdistan. The artist mentioned it to adding many other countries. I feel I'm part of this in the future.
There's a few flags in the world that have a very political connotation.
Yeah.
If you're asking certain parts of Glasgow, then they would probably take great objection to what you've done to the Union flag.
Yeah.
But how serious is your petition?
It is serious. Yeah, it's serious.
And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green? And was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pasture seen? From the pier to the square, hear the sound. Raise the flag, pass it round. England dancing, freedom found. From the terraces to the high street light, from the council housing to the streets renouncing different stories, same train line. We read our lives in public rooms, libraries, parks, the town hall floor. They say keep quiet, we say make room. This country always been more.
Left side, right side, step in time. Accent mix, rhythm clear, say it loud, say it clear.
Legacy, living here.
There is no place for races here. There is no place for races here.
Many stories, one ground, many flags, shared sound. Wave your flag, wave it free. This is our home, this is our we. Our flag is of this land. When the rainbow kisses it, hands in the air, spin around. England rising,
Common ground.
bring me my bow of burning gold.
Bring me my arrows of desire.
Bring me my spear, oh clouds unfold.
Bring me my chariot of fire.
Say it loud, say it clear.
There is no place for races here.
The true colors of this nation. This is the fabric of our creation.
There is no place for races here.
Under those feet in ancient time, woke up on England's mountains green, and was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen. From the pier to the square, hear the sound, raise the flag, pass it round, England dancing, freedom found. From the terraces to the high street light, from the council housing to the streets we're announcing, different stories, same great line. We read our lives in public rooms, libraries, parks, the town hall floor, They say keep quiet, we say make room. This country always been more.
Left side, right side, step in time.
Accent mix, rhythm clip, say it loud, say it clear. Legacy, living here. There is no place for races. There is no place for races here. Many stories, one ground. Many flags, shared sound. Wave your flag, wave it free. This is our home, this is our we. Our flag is of this land. When the rainbow kisses it, hands in the air, spin around. England rising, common ground. Bring me my bow of burning gold. Bring me my arrows of desire. Bring me my sparrow clouds unfold. Bring me my chariot of fire. Say loud, say it clear. There is no place for racists here. Say it loud, say it clear. There is no place for racists here. Say it loud, say it clear. There is no place for racists here. Say it loud, say it clear. There is no place for racists here. These are the true colors of this nation. This is the fabric of our creation. There is no place for racists here.
I think there's so many cultures in the UK and they should be represented in our flag.
Do you think it might upset people who are more supporting on the Union Jack, this proposal for replacing it?
I mean, it's a bold move, but like I think we should take risks and not worry about upsetting people as well.
Okay, and why did you choose it?
Same kind of reasons, I think. I think it's nice that anyone can look at this flag and see themselves in it. And I don't think you can say that about them before.
What are the chances that this will be accepted if I'm introducing this in the Parliament?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, that's true. I think we'd struggle, but it's a shame.
Do you think there is a discrepancy between maybe what people want and what the politician will dare to do?
Yeah, definitely. I think our government right now aren't very daring and not really willing to take the risk.
They still remain in power.
Yeah.
And we live in a democracy, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Represents to me my own background, which is quite mixed and comes from lots of places from around the world, so that although I was born and brought up in the UK, my background isn't, that's not where although I sound like I come from a very traditional UK background, I don't.
Do you feel, as somebody with ancestors from various places, the need to have some representation on the national flag?
I've never thought about it before, I have to say, but I think maybe the Union Jack is a bit outdated now, because it isn't just about the Union of the countries that it represents, and there should be more of a union of the world that it represents, I suppose, or people from the world that now the UK represents. Yeah.
Okay, you chose both of them. Why this decision to choose both?
Well, so the current Union flag is already a unification of three different elements of Britain, of Scotland and of Northern Ireland. So it's already a symbol of various cultures becoming part of one state or one nationality. And obviously that can be problematic and difficult, but it can also create something united and create something that's a single entity. So your new flag obviously contains a whole lot more different elements, but it's the same idea of the original Union flag, which is three flags put into one.
Okay, I have some response of people that chose not to choose the Union Jack, saying that the flag was hijacked by the far right more recently, although maybe in the 80s, in the 90s, represented Cool Britannia, now it's representing something else. Do you have any reservation now to hold the Union Jack because of that, or do you think it could be changed in other ways?
Yeah, I mean, symbols can be used by lots of different people to mean lots of different things. I mean, it's probably more the flag of St George that I would feel I had maybe a slight aversion to, because of feeling that it's been hijacked by other people. So yeah, I think it's more the flag of St George that I would unfortunate have reservations about rather than the Union flag.
What happens if Scotland leaving us?
Okay. Well, that's a good question.
Are we to design a new flag or just
we're going to need to find someone who can design us a new flag. You got any suggestions?
Yeah, this was actually started as emergency flag.
Very good.
Intermediate, like Brexit, it's an intermediate flag.
Cool, so I've chosen, my name is African Boy Spelling, okay? I've been asked which one of these two flags I want to choose that I feel represents the UK. I feel both of these flags represents the island in which I live in and I was born in, because this is the island that I lived in and I was born in. This is the establishment that has, built its way up to be this way. So this has to represent where I'm at, because this is what it is. However, I might grow up in London, southeast London, and I'm a product of a flag like this that represents diversity, that represents a mixture of different cultures, which is what, as a Londoner, I specifically feel. Hence why London probably was one of the only major cities that voted not to leave the Brexit, because we feel like this, we want to be connected to everyone. However, the Brexit showed us that we are still in this place, Great England. So that's me, African Boy, both of them, but you know me, man, represent the world out here, yeah? What's up?
You chose this flag?
Because I think we have to acknowledge that there are lots of different communities within one country, and I think this encapsulates it.
Do you think that LGBTQ people more inclined toward the new Union flag rather than the Union Jack, or not necessarily?
I'd like to think so, but not necessarily.
Okay. Why not? Because the flag I created, well, from my perspective, it's much more diverse and talk about differences.
I think it's a lot more complex. I think we have an expectation that LGBTQI would be more accepting, more tolerant, but at the end of the day they're still people as well, so I don't think it's quite as straightforward as that.
Yeah, why you chose this one and not the Union flag? I chose this flag because it's got lots of different cultures represented on it. It's colourful, and I feel it represents the different cultures within Britain. Go.
Hi everybody, I chose this flag because, born in the UK but living in the world, Leicester is a fantastic place for diversity and I absolutely love living here. You take good care and live in a diverse world.
The new Union flag rather than the Union Jack. Well, the new Union flag looks a bit more inclusive, and it's more multicultural and it's more colorful, and for me, because it's got lots of colors, it just shows the inclusiveness and the cosmopolitan ethic of it, a lot of people being together wherever they come from. That's why I chose the new flag. No.
Because we're all citizens of the world, and so we're not citizens of the country, we're citizens of the world. I'm choosing both flags, not because of nationalism, but because I think the Union Jack is very important emotionally to a lot of people in Britain, and I don't think those emotions should be trampled upon, but I think it's a brilliant idea to have a duality of the flags and to demonstrate they're all progressing to this matrix of people that are actually shaping this country into something that is not purely nationalistic, it's much richer than this flag signifies, which is why I would go with having it remade in a different vein. And I think it's too important to lose this. It would have to be one side and one the other. I personally think this flag is very representing the UK because it's a multiple culture country, and this flag get it all. The Union Jack, unfortunately, is only certain colours, which doesn't represent half of us in this country who are born and raised here.
Exactly the same, it represents everyone from everywhere, and works out perfect. So.
Yeah, so why do you choose the Union Jack?
Traditional value of Great Britain society, so that's why I chose this one. I'm proud to be British.
Okay, and what is the British values that you are proud and represented by this flag?
It's that I feel that if you live in this country, you should respect the laws and the rules as well. Being a British citizen. Okay. That's how I feel. That's my strong values anyway.
Okay. And curious when your choice?
I like the
Do you want to convince each other, talk to one each other and convince them that your flag is best representing the UK?
Well, this has always been the Union Jack. We should honour it anyway. Well, you can have both. There might be one. You can have both. But I still prefer this one though.
As somebody who probably, as I guess, your ancestor came from not England or from elsewhere, would you like to see a representation of your tradition in a form of textile design from your former or your ancestor country in the flag that represents you today?
How would you feel if which country are you from, basically?
Well,
if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, it's complex. I was born in London, my dad from Iraq, my mom from Bulgaria.
Okay.
They were in Israel, they immigrated here and they immigrated.
Okay, right. So if we go to, say, a Muslim country, right, we have to obey their rules and things like that, yeah? And if you drink alcohol or anything like that, how come the Muslim country are not flexible in that sense? Now, you come to this country, right? So you should respect our values as well. That's how I feel at the end of the day. I'm British born, so I'm proud. I'm not from another country. I'm born in this country. Okay. And that's why. So, end of the day, right, it's okay for you to say that we have to be multicultural and all that stuff, right? Yeah. But if we want to be our rules into your country, you wouldn't like it then, would you? And you say it's against our religion and things like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's it. I'm not being wrong. No. Yeah.
I was also born in the UK.
Yes, yeah.
But I feel that somebody who was born in the UK was created by a lot of things, and a lot of these things are the people who came from elsewhere. Sometimes not because of choice, sometimes because of process of colonialism and imperialism, and they came here like my parents, like my dad, who is originally from Iraq, my mom, they lived in Israel, they came here because Palestine was colonized with the British, and Iraq was colonized with the British. They chose to come to this country, and this is why I was born here, because of this process. So I feel like that I have to share in the British culture, and I wanted to represent the British flag.
I mean, it's good, but I reckon that we should be all multicultural as well and respect one another and not be too militant against each other's religion or something like that. So that's what I think the religion is causing the war in this world at the end of the day. No, I think that we need to help everyone, but we need world peace more than anything else. Get rid of that religion.
Why do you choose both of the flags?
I choose both because I think, in fact, people should be able to do what's in their hearts. I'm a big believer of mindfulness, and I know that a lot of people represent with the British flag, and also a lot of people will represent with the new flag. I think that sometimes borders close our minds, and I really believe that having a mindful perspective is probably better than worrying about flags.
Why did you choose the New Union flag rather than the Union Jack?
Diversity.
Why you chose the Union Jack?
I don't have any reason. I just chose it because I just saw the flag.
Okay.
Ask another person, please.
Why do you choose the Union Jack?
Because I'm French.
Okay, so you feel as a French, this one is more familiar as representation for the UK.
Elle a dit, tu penses parce que tu es française, alors ça, ce drapeau représente plus le UK.
Where is your ancestors came from?
Tes ancêtres viennent d'où? Congo.
Congo. Would you like to see a Congolese fabric design in the French flag? So it won't be just the color, but also.
Avoir comme un Ikuta, le truc de l'Ikuta sur le drapeau français? Yes.
Okay, so I made this flag to have representation of the people who live in the UK within the Union Jack.
Et dès qu'il a fait ce drapeau justement pour représenter les gens qui habitent dans le UK, donc les différentes nationalités qui habitent dans le UK aux États-Unis.
You immediately chose this one. Tell me why.
Because I think it represents like different culture in the UK.
Okay.
So it's like bringing us together really. It's not just about English, but it's all about all of us really. Africans, Indians, all of us.
You?
For the sake of image and putting it out there officially, you can use the Union Jack, but
Award-winning artist Guillaume Moalem-Doron is taking a stand against hate speech, hate crimes and intolerance with art. In his latest project tagged Protesting for Diversity, Gil speaks to Latest TV about his inspiration, the new Union flag, and why art can be a potent force for exploring diversity and creating social change.
Yeah, this project is the next stage of a longer project started 4 years ago, which called the New Union Flag. It's a redesign of the Union Jack into much more diverse flag for the UK. The colors from the Union Jack were taken and replaced by textile designs of various communities who live in the UK. So you can see the Celtic, English, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, as well as Native Americans, South Americans, African, Southeast Asian, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, European, and Far East designs.
So why have you decided to keep the structure of the Union flag? If you're trying to do a new Union flag, why not change the entire thing?
Yeah, people ask me about that. I think one of the reasons is that this flag is also a reflection about the imperial and colonial past of the UK, and the Union Jack is something that symbolizes it. Now we can delete or obscure the symbols of colonialism and imperialism, but we can't ignore the results, both good and bad, of this past. So this is why it was important for me. This project is less as a protest than starting off a conversation, and I think when you start with a conversation and a dialogue with something which is visual rather than slogan, usually the results are more interesting and people are more willing to stay and listen. However, after Brexit and the rise of xenophobia and hate crimes, I decided to do another project which is more of a protest in nature. It's called Protesting for Diversity, which are a series of placards which I made with various local and migrant and refugee communities across the country, with other organizations, for example Outreach that you can see in these photos, and there we thought together of actually how to deliver the importance of diversity through text that also incorporate the various textile designs that you can see on the flag. These placards were taken to actual marches and rallies on various occasions in main streets on various cities as a kind of more direct engagement with passerbys.
Protesting for Diversity exhibition is supported by Euro-Mediterranean Resources Network, No Hate Speech Movement UK and Jubilee Library Brighton. It is showing till the 19th of August and attendees will have the opportunity to take part in a short diversity interview by the new Union Flag Project. Okachi Chukwu, reporting for Latest TV.
In here and there, and while the murales, those are commissioned pieces.
These are commissioned pieces and been professionally put on
to various objects around Brighton, including planters, bus shelters, walls, this one by Lee Elis, who's a very well-renowned street artist, and bins even. We've even put artworks on bins. There is a trail. I mean, all the artworks are within the Brighton Bid, so the Brighton Bid area. So the Brighton Bid area is where we are now in some of the lanes, Brighton lanes. It starts around East Street, comes up into North Street, goes up to Churchill Square, along Western Road, and then down Preston Street.
Brighton Council over fears his artwork, billed as a reimagining of the Union flag, might scare people.
Gil Mwalem Duron's show at the City Council's Jubilee Library would have featured his work New Union Flag in collaboration with the pressure group Stand Up to Racism. However, in a decision labelled censorship by the artist, the show won't now go ahead.
Well, he says his work is designed to appeal to the very people the council says it could offend. With our report, here's John Ra.
This is artist Gil Mwalem Duron's response to being cancelled by the leader of Brighton and Hove City Council to display his artwork outside the Jubilee Library in Brighton after being banned from displaying it inside. Called the New Union Flag, it's created around the traditional crosses of St George, St Andrew and St Patrick, but it's also a patchwork of textiles representing dozens of other countries and cultures.
I wanted to show the roots of the people who are making this nation from ancient history until today. So I decided to use the Union Jack, which is the emblem of this country, and instead of the color, start to insert textile designs of various communities, so original textile designs.
The artwork has received enthusiastic reviews at the Tate Modern and the Turner Contemporary in Margate. It was booked for display here, then unbooked, on the orders of the City Council leader, Councillor Bella Sankey.
The library said that they have to cancel the exhibition. Main two reasons that I remember at the moment is that they are afraid for the safety of the visitor and their employee, their staff. I don't know who were they afraid, it wasn't mentioned. And that minorities, community minorities might feel that some intimidation because they don't understand it.
Stand Up to Racism collaborated with Gil on the project.
We would urge the council to seriously reconsider this. I mean, we planned for it to be kind of an exhibition, but actually where the artist was going to be there as well, explaining what the exhibition was about. We were going to have a Stand Up to Racism stall in the library, so it's going to be very clear that this flag was about anti-racism and about celebrating diversity, about saying refugees, migrants are welcome here in our city.
Gil says he and his artwork will return to this spot through December. His aim, he says, was to create a global take on the Union flag. Instead, he's found himself in a world of trouble. John Ryle, ITV News, Brighton.
Well, Brighton and Hove Council told us our libraries are recognised as libraries of sanctuary, something we're proud of and keen to maintain. Given, they say, the fears that minority communities have expressed in recent months, there are concerns that displaying national flags could be taken out of their artistic context.
From the pier to the square, I hear the sound. Raise a flag, pass it around. Brighton dancing, freedom found. Yeah. Brighton dancing, freedom found. From the terraces to the high street light. Different stories, same train line. We read our lives in public rooms. Libraries, parks, the town hall floor. They say keep quiet, we say make room. This country always been more. Left side, right side, step in time. Accent mix, rhythm clear. Say it loud, say it clear.
is an artist who's been cancelled by, of all people, Brighton and Hove Council, complete lefty council. But they have cancelled his exhibition featuring Union flags, like you've never seen them before, over fears it might offend or scare people. The councillor showed due to fears they said he could put visitors and their belongings at risk. At a library. It's all rather bizarre. Let's talk about this with Gil Moalem Duron. He's the artist cancelled by the council and joins us right now. Very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us. Well, I mean, for those who don't know, for those who are watching, we've got most people are listening, lots of people are watching on YouTube, can see some of the images you've got. You basically, talk us through just your art, the Union flag. It's not a Union Jack, as many people would recognise it, red, white and blue, multicoloured, lots of different designs. What's the sort of the idea, the message you're trying to send with your artwork using sort of the Union flag?
Okay, there are two messages or interpretation of the Union Jack or the Union flag. One that showing, instead of the three colors, using the basic of the design, but changing the colors with textile designs from various communities who live in this country, including there is even a representative to Victoria created tartan that she made, Queen Victoria. And the other matter of this flag is that it's ever changing, so it's basically being updated as other communities joining this country.
Yeah, and it's about, okay, I mean, it's basically representing and celebrating diversity. It's created in collaboration with the organisation Stand Up to Racism. Now, there might be some people who would say, oh, I don't want you messing with the flag, but this is art. I 100% defend. I think these images are absolutely stunning and beautiful, I have to say. But the local council said that this would somehow... and that's what I can't work out. They said that displaying national flags, this was going to be at Jubilee Library in Brighton, displaying national flags could be taken out of their artistic context and could put visitors and their belongings at risk. You got a phone call and then an email saying that library visitors might encounter the work unexpectedly and take offence. Who entering a library, seeing these images, would take offence at them? Would they take offence at them because it was the Union flag at heart, or would they take offence at them because it was diverse representations on the Union flag? Which was the concern? Do you know?
No, really, this is need to be asked to the council and the library. What I do like to mention is that together with this interpretation of the Union flag or the Union Jack, there were two other flags supposed to be part of the exhibition. One is the St. George flag, and the Union Jack slightly modified to include historical facts about, for example, St. George, that was a Palestinian and a migrant. Originally, his grave is in the country I migrated from. And that on the Union Jack, the English originally were a Germanic tribe, they are Angles, so I'm mentioning that. And they were also migrant, or if you want, colonizers, and hence we have the
Wait a minute,
English.
so we're colonizers even though we were colonized. It's so difficult to keep up. I know that was a red, white and blue flag, and it's got English, German, and the English were migrants. There's a lot of this argument, isn't there? Look, I don't view my country in that way. I don't view my flag in that way. However, I wouldn't find it offensive. I certainly would never want an artwork cancelled. I mean, nice to see it. I think the images are very, very beautiful. They are political, you could argue. But what is your reaction? Have you found somewhere else to? I mean, this is an exhibition that has been in many other places before. Have you found somewhere else to hire? And what's your message back, very briefly, to Brighton and Hove Council?
I really baffled. This flag was at the library in the past. It was on bus stops in Brighton. It was at the Tate Modern, turned contemporary at Margate 3 days after Brexit, and there were no incidents from any sides. So I think we are getting into a culture of fear, considering some of the action by the far right, recent actions, and I think that's what they're afraid for.
They think the far right is going to be, I mean, again, who they're referring to as far right, because I think they include me, they're going to be upset about it, and they're going to, I don't know, storm the library or something. Is there much of an issue with the far right in Brighton and Hove?
I mean, there were incidents in the library in the past against transgender people.
Were there women asking men to get out of the ladies' toilets?
No, there was exhibition there. There were reading by trans people. And I know there were some incidents. I really can't tell what,
Okay.
you know,
But you're
can
as,
speak for the library. I
sounds
hope
to me
I'll find a place.
you're as baffled as we are. Unfortunately, time is against us. Gil Merlem Duron, an artist cancelled by Brighton and Hove Council. Thank you very much, Steve, for joining us.
An artist has put together a new rendition of the Union Jack. It was done in collaboration with Stop Racism, and it's all about celebrating the diversity of the UK. So the flag itself, as you can see there, is a mixture of different patterns and fabrics, the keffiyeh for the Palestinians, Jamaican flags, all sorts, to represent the multicultural, diverse Britain. Well, a Labour-controlled council, Brighton Council, has decided that is too offensive and potentially frightening for some patrons at their local library, and so the whole display has been banned. A display literally about demonstrating the diversity and the multiculturalism of the UK, done by a left-wing artist in collaboration with Stand Up to Racism, has been banned for being too racist. This is just completely absurd. Now, the council said our libraries have been recognised as libraries of sanctuary, something we are very proud of and keen to maintain. Given the fears that minority communities have expressed to me in recent weeks and months, there are particular concerns that displaying national flags could be taken out of their artistic context. The artistic context is celebrating multiculturalism, but also if the national flag is that offensive to you, you may be in the wrong country. I hate to break it to you.
You have to look so hard at that multicultural Union Jack to realise it's a Union Jack. I mean, I had to stare at to figure out, oh, it's actually a Union Jack that's done in all different patterns. The irony here is, of course, as you pointed out, that it's promoting multiculturalism. The truth is, I don't think that flag is going to offend any minority group, but I think it offends the council because typically it's our councils, progressive ones, who are banning these things. They're the ones that hate Britain. They're the ones that hate nationalism. It's not some minority group being offended and saying to their local MP, you need to do something to protect us. It's progressive politicians, and we see this all around the Western world. They're the ones who hate their country, hate their national flag, and so they then, under the guise of defending minorities who might be offended, they then act their own bias and prejudice. I think that's what's happening here.
And you know what I have to say to that? A night at the proms, how good is it? And the bizarre thing as well is that Stand Up to Racism, or whatever they're called, have tried to portray it as though it were they can't have it because of the diversity angle. They put out a statement and said that the cancellation of this display reflects a broader climate of institutional self-censorship and risk aversion. When a public library in a progressive city cannot host a flag celebrating diversity, we should be concerned. So they're saying that it's actually not going up because of the celebration of diversity, that the council does not agree with diversity. But of course you heard what the council had to say, which was that minorities have told them that they don't like the Union Jack. I mean, try and make it make sense. If you cannot display your national flag in your country, and you can't even make an artwork out of it that is meant to be about diversity. I think it's a pretty good piece of art, by the way. Yeah. I mean, it's been displayed in the Tate Modern, for Christ's sake, and you can't have it in a library? Like, what is going on?
Yep, I'm with you. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, there you go. That's the state of the modern UK, and we ain't far behind.
They are sailing, they are sailing from Africa across the seas. They are sailing stormy waters
to be near you, to be free. But now they're drowning. Yes, they're drowning in the waters of Sicily. Oh, they're drowning while simply striving to taste the waters of liberty. So can you hear them? Can you hear them from the bottom of the seas? Can you hear them? Broken dreams then. And if you hear them, set them free. Thank you. Thank you.